Okay, so in this video, I'm going to continue summarizing the quest lore for the Blood Elf starting zone. And so far it's been a bumpy road, but we're going to continue moving along. If you missed the first episode, then I highly suggest that you click this link right over here and then come back and watch this one. Other than that, let's jump back in and find out what's going on in World of Warcraft. Last time we left Sunstrider Island heading into Dawning Lane to look for the Outrunner that had been missing, who is carrying a package from Magistrix Arona. After speaking with Alarian, you make your way into the ruins of Silvermoon and immediately find the missing Outrunner, or rather her dead body. The packages that she was delivering have been stolen, except for Arona's. Now you make your way back to Alarian to tell her what you found. She says that that's the third Outrunner that we've lost this month, and even though that the death of another Outrunner just sucks, this package needs to get to the inn at Falconwing Square. And since they're short-handed, Alarian asks if you can take care of it, and warns you that the path there is extremely dangerous because of all the wretched that are in the area. So you take the package and head back into Dawning Lane, and on your way to Falcon Square, nothing happens. I didn't have any encounter with a single wretched, none. I guess that dead Outrunner just got really unlucky or something. So you arrive at Falconwing Square and head directly into the inn, and speak to innkeeper Delaniel. She thanks you for the delivery, and rewards you with some water or food depending on your choice. Any knowledge of what you just delivered isn't given to you, but why should it? You're just the deliverer. Now from here, we have yet another moment of talking to a ton of people, and most of them are standing outside of the inn. The first person you talk to is Magister Geronis. He tells you that the arcane protectors that were made by our forefathers to protect the city have fallen into a dangerous state of disrepair. The bad thing is, they don't recognize us as their masters and will attack on sight. And even though they were created a long time ago, the arcane cores that power them are still pretty useful. Geronis wants you to gather 6 of them so he can put them to better use. Now you run up to Eildon Sunbrand, and what the... never mind. He tells you that a group of wretched recently raided a supply of unstable mana crystals from one of our arcane sanctums. The problem is, these crystals could explode and blow a hole in the city wall. He doesn't care if the wretched blow themselves up while, diving deeper into their addiction, but if any of those mana crystals did blow up a part of the wall, then that would just look really bad for Eildon and his men. So he wants you to bring back 6 of the unstable mana crystals, just to make sure that that doesn't happen. The last thing you do is run up to the post outside of the building. It says that the city of Silvermoon has issued a reward for the head of kael'thas the Hungerer. He's wanted for a bunch of crimes against the people of the city, as well for the murder of 2 city guards. So if you find him, you can bring his head back to Sergeant Canran for a reward, and he can be located here in Falconwing Square. So now it's time to head out and get to work. You start off by killing a few wretched, so you can get close enough to loot the unstable mana crystals. Then you kill the patrollers and loot them for their arcane cores. After all of that, you head out to hunt down kael'thas the Hungerer. Once you find him, you kill him and remove his head. Wait, that's better. Then you make your way back to Falconwing Square. The first thing you do when you get back is report to Magister Geronis, and he asks if you were able to gather the 6 arcane cores, which you did. He says that with the arcane sanctums not operating at full power, these power cores will go a long way in supplementing their needs. Geronis notices that you're not an idiot, so he tasks you with something else to do. He hands you a letter addressed to Lay Keeper Kaidanis, who is the arcanist in charge of the upkeep at the North Sanctum, and wants you to deliver the letter. The North Sanctum can be located to the southwest of Falconwing Square. You then run up to Sergeant Canran and hand him the head of kael'thas the Hungerer. He says that kael'thas has finally met his fate, and that things should be quiet for the wretched for a while. Lastly, you run up to Eildon Sunbrand and give him the stolen mana crystals, which he then says, excellent work. And that's it. Moving on. Eildon then mentions that besides dealing with the wretched, he says that he has to deal with these fictitious reports of night elf sightings. Not sure why, knowing that there aren't many of them left anyways. Ooh, wait, that hasn't happened yet. Regardless, Eildon says that out of these reports, one of them demands further investigation. The West Sanctum, which is one of the primary energy sources, has suffered a terrible malfunction, and there's rumor about a possible Darnassian sabotage. Eildon wants you to head over there and deal with anyone that looks suspicious. Then report back to Laykeeper Valania, who watches over the place. The West Sanctum can be located to the southwest of Falconwing Square. So now we've got a few new tasks to do. You start off by heading south out of Falconwing Square, and meet up with Laykeeper Kael'thas at the North Sanctum. You then hand him the letter that Magister Geronas wanted you to deliver. Kael'thas says that he's been expecting this and thanks you. And since you're here, he mentions that Laykeeper Valania's apprentice dropped by asking for assistance because of the really bad malfunction at the West Sanctum. But Kael'thas has been busy entertaining this dwarven guy. What the crap is he doing here? Well, apparently Kael'thas told this dwarf how the sanctums work. Pretty much these places siphon arcane power from ley line currents. And with the Sunwell gone, they provide a steady, reliable source of energy. But Kael'thas is too stupid to realize that he's just feeding this dwarf information that could lead to a security threat. What an idiot. Anyways, he says he's too busy to help out with the West Sanctum, and was hoping that you wouldn't mind heading over there, even though you already were. So now you head west, through the Eversong Woods, and directly up to Laykeeper Valania. She says that we have a severe problem here, and that it's about time that dimwit Kael'thas sent someone along here to help out. Valania says that she warned everyone that increasing the load on the Sanctum could do some harm on the energy converters. Well, one of them is now destroyed, and arcane wraiths are pouring out of the Sanctum now. She wants you to take care of them before anyone goes back in to make the repairs that need to be done, by killing 5 mana wraiths and 5 mana stalkers. You then go behind the Sanctum and find and kill the Darnassian scout. And on his body, you find incriminating documents detailing different strategic buildings in Eversong Woods, as well as a diagram of an arcane sanctum. You don't recognize the language, but regardless, Eildon Sunbrand back in Falconwing Square will definitely want to see this. Before heading back there, you speak with Laykeeper Valania. Now that the wraiths are under control, she says that they can send someone in to assess the damage on the energy converter that blew up, and hopes that this wasn't anything permanent. She then rewards you with the Laykeeper's blade for having cleared out the area. You then tell her about the Darnassian spy, and she wonders if they had anything to do with the malfunction at the Sanctum. She then tells you to bring back what you know to Captain Sunbrand back in Falconwing Square as soon as possible. So now you make your way out, and head all the way back to Falconwing Square in order to speak to Captain Eildon Sunbrand. You show him the letter that you found, and he questions if you really found it on a night elf because everything is written in the dwarven language. From what he can understand, whoever wrote this didn't cause the malfunction at the West Sanctum, but rather was sent here to spy and observe the results of it. The letter also says that our endeavors are reckless and dangerous. Then it finally clicks in Eildon's head. That's right, the envoy from Ironforge. Why the Blood Elves trusted anyone from the Alliance, I don't know. So Eildon says that this is a very delicate situation. Even though we know who the spy is, we can't just simply kill the envoy out in the open. Plus, we can't try to capture him because the risk of him escaping is too great. So he wants you to go find Prospector Anvilward, this guy right here. And when you do, you're basically gonna kill him and bring his head back as proof that he's dead. Eildon says that by doing this, Ironforge will learn not to mess with the Sindori. So once again you head out and make your way back to the North Sanctum in order to confront, or rather kill, Prospector Anvilward. I'll admit, Sunstrider Island was a bit on the bland side, but this quest lore is starting to heat up a bit. And yes, I've played a Blood Elf before, but I've never read any of the quests in this zone, so this is all completely new to me. So if you're like me and you skipped reading the quests while leveling, then consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell icon for notifications when I drop a new episode. And a huge shout out to the Patreon subscribers for supporting this channel. If you'd like to help out with this project, then go ahead and check out the Patreon link down below. And with that, we'll see you next week when we find out what happens next in the Tales of Azeroth.
Hmm?